Hey guys, hey, welcome to Tuesdays with Tom. Okay, that's not gonna work. Now, like I could slip that past you. Oh my gosh. Like having an ulterior identity would like take it. I'm Mark and this is Smokeysteveandmarc. Welcome or welcome back. Oh, it's great to see you. It really is. I know I say this, but I really do enjoy our time together on Mondays with Mark, even if it is a Tuesday. And it's been a while, huh? We haven't seen you since Halloween. We took a few days off after Halloween, and it was a nice weekend. It was, I was able to at kind of like at my pace, was able to like get the house all in order, get the Halloween stuff down. I mean, there's still some stuff that needs, finished, but the majority of it is done, and it was nice. The weather was nice, and it was like more of a calm weekend, and I really did enjoy it, but I did get all the outside Halloween stuff down, packed, and put away, and most of the house stuff. But I'll tell you, the studio after that costume runway, this room here was a wreck. Oh my gosh, but it's all cleaned up now. Oh, we have a great show tonight. Oh, and we have a lot to do too. It's all about leaves, pumpkins, and squash. Oh my! We have a project to do. We have a recipe to do, a great recipe to do, and we actually have another project to do too, all within that theme, y'all, because we still have 3 weeks left of autumn, just about. Well, I mean, technically, we have well over a month, meteorologically. Is that correct? That word? I don't know. Before the winter solstice, but if you're like many other people, including us, the day after Thanksgiving, winter starts, well, definitely Christmas season starts. So that's kind of like winter for me. So, but yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. It was so funny. Daylight savings time was last weekend. I'm usually on top of all of that stuff. Did not know at all until Steve came in and woke me up, and it was, fall ahead, had an extra hour of sleep too, which made the weekend even better. All right. So no more rambling on tonight. A little later in the week, not tomorrow, but either Thursday or Friday, we're gonna have a chit chat video and get all caught up on everything. We're also gonna have a real talk video to get caught up on all that, personal stuff too. So we'll get caught up then, because today, oh boy, we have to get to our project. So why don't we start with our first project? We're gonna make an autumn wreath for our door, and I need one. I don't have a wreath for my door. I never have something between Halloween and Thanksgiving, the starting of Christmas. So we're going to do that right now. And this leaf is going to be made with all real oak leaves. So come on, let's head over to the workshop. So we're back in the workshop. Oh yes, it's back, y'all. And we're gonna make an autumn wreath. We're gonna make a real oak leaf autumn wreath, that is. I've always wanted to make a real wreath just out of leaves, all right? So let's get started. So this is what we need. You need a wreath frame like this. I got this at the Dollar Tree in whatever size you want, and it doesn't have to be this kind. It could be any type of wreath frame like that. You'll need some twine like this, not as thick as that jute that we sometimes use. You want it to be a little bit thinner, okay? And really, that's about it. We are going to be using a hot glue gun, but of course, we definitely need leaves. Leaves. I love leaves. I do. All right. So the first thing we're going to do, now that I covered everything up, I don't know where anything is we're going to take our twine and we are going to thread it through a needle of some sort. This is a knitting needle here, which works just perfectly. Okay, we're just going to kind of go through our leaves and pick out the nicer ones, like the fat ones. I mean, of course, they can curl up a little bit. And the leaves you want to pick, you want them to be like, well, autumn leaves, like dried out. Now I'm going with all the same here, and we have a black oak tree outside that I really like these leaves. They don't get like vibrant orange and red, but they do turn really nice colors like this, and I like the way they look. Yeah. With our cord here that we have threaded, not that one, this one, we are just going to start, and we're going to right in the center of our leaf like this. We are just going to like push it right through the center and bring it all the way down. And then make sure before you get it all the way to the bottom, you tie a little knot down there so they don't fall off of the bottom. So like that. And then we're going to repeat with our leaves. Now, as far as the length of our string goes, you want to have it so that it's like, like the circumference of your frame, okay? And then maybe like half more, okay? That's about the size of the string you'll need, okay? And then it's all about threading our leaves. And we want to make sure that they go the same way. That is like all face up or all face down, okay? All right, let's get a threading. Shut up! We like a leaf snake here. That's kind of cool. And you can stop threading your leaves when you have about a half to 3/4 of your twine that you had kind of measured there, full of leaves like this, because we're going to be separating. We only need it to be about half full, okay? We got the frame here, and now it's all about attaching our leaves. Okay, so the first thing I did was I tied our leaves. I tied it off so we have a circle here, and then I separated it right in half, the leaves, so we have them on either half. And then what we're going to do is attach it to the top of our frame and to the bottom of our frame. And for that, to make life easier, twist ties. So right there. And as you can see, it might look kind of funny, like, if it's not, because there's string going like it. No worries at all, because now it's all about nipping and tucking and fanning them all out so they go whichever way we want them to go. And then using our hot glue gun here, we're going to add some more leaves wherever we need to make a nice full wreath. We can add those leaves to cover up like any, like empty spots or places you might not like the way it looks. Ooh. And you have your choice. You can do them all one way. You can mix them all up. I think I'm going to mix them all up. So let's do it. Okay, fan them out. Okay, perfect, very good. Okay, now we're a little congested here, so I'm afraid we're gonna have to take you out. I'm sorry. Tack you down right here. And hold 2, 3, 4. Let's do a little more fanning here. Okay. Oh, I like you. We'll use you, little one. Ew, it has, Well, we gotta cover a little bit of our frame up here. Okay. There we go. We are all covered here. Done with our nipping and tucking and hot gluing and fanning out. That I just put a little hanger on the back here to hang up just out of our twine there. Just need a little like that, okay? And now we're going to take a look and see, do we need any more to make it look nice? Is any of our wire showing, anything like that? And if it is, we'll hot glue another leaf on there. And then we're going to clip off our stems. And I'm only going to clip up, I'm going to clip most of them off. I'm only going to leave maybe, a couple. I think that's good. All right, then I made a bow out of some burlap. I'm not good at making bows. I never was. And I'm going to put them on top there and poof them out. But then I was thinking, I have my pumpkins on a stick, these little ones. What do you think? Maybe I'll hang them down, from underneath the bow. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And there we go. Oh, I'm glad I hung those pumpkins. I think it looks really nice there. Oh boy, my bow is sad. And you know what? He needs to go. I'm gonna tack him up a little like that. Yeah, like that. But you know what? I'm happy with the way it turned out. Definitely. Our very first real leaf wreath. Yeah, I never made a real one before. Anyway, there you have it. Oh yes. Our real oak leaf autumn wreath. So now it's recipe time, and this is one of my favorite autumn recipes. It really, really is, y'all. We're gonna make a roasted butternut squash minestrone soup. Oh, it's so good, and a Marc original. Oh yeah. So basically, it starts with a classic minestrone soup, but with a few little twists there, with the addition of some tortellini, and of course, butternut squash. Okay, so to start things out, I have here about a 3-pound butternut squash there, and we peeled it and cleaned it, and then we cut it up into about 1-inch cubes, between 1 and 2-inch cubes. And as you can see here, I did drizzle on 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper, and we mixed it all up so all of our butternut squash pieces are covered. And oh yeah, the baking pan with some parchment paper on it. We're gonna put that right on there, spread it out into one even layer, okay? Just like that. All right, and now we're gonna roast these in a 400-degree oven until they're nice and tender and golden. And that'll be about 30 minutes. Now, of course, that depends on the size of your chunks there too. If you went for more like a 2-inch chunk, you're gonna have to probably 35-40 minutes, but 30 minutes is a really good way to go there, okay? All right, so let's get these babies in. All right, so while our butternut squash is roasting, let's take a look at the rest of our ingredients. Okay, and here they are. Okay, in the back here we have 1 cup each of carrots, celery, and our onions all diced up, our mirepoix. And then down here we have 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, homemade if you got it, 3/4 of a cup of flour, 1 to 1.5 cups of Italian green beans, or you could just, use a can. I believe they're about 14 ounces. Back here we have a 28-ounce can of petite diced tomatoes. And these are small red kidney beans, or you could use great northern beans, and you'll want 1 15-ounce can of that. And back here we have 6 cups of vegetable broth. You could also use chicken. And this is 14 ounces of cheese tortellini, all prepared and cooled. And then I did toss it with some olive oil. 1, to keep them from sticking, but 2, to get a little more to do with these babies later. And as far as our seasonings go, in here we have 2 tablespoons each of fresh minced garlic and fresh chopped parsley, 1 teaspoon each of salt, pepper, thyme, and oregano, 2 bay leaves, and 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary. And of course, oh yes, fresh grated Parmesan cheese for serving. All right, let's get this on the stove. Here we go. Okay, so we have our mirepoix, that's our carrots, onions, and celery in a soup pot here, along with that 5 tablespoons of butter. And we just let that cook down until the vegetables are nice and fragrant and starting to soften, about 5 to 6 minutes. So at this point, oh yes, we're gonna add our tomato paste. All came out great. I was gonna say, I don't have my little spatula there with me. And we'll just kind of give that a little stir in there. And then all of our seasonings. Bam! Ooh, now it smells good. Oh, I got so excited over the littlest things, don't I? Oh my goodness, sorry. So now we're going to add our flour, and what we're going to do is just sprinkle it on top, like so. And then we're going to stir it until it's all kind of incorporated, with that butter and the vegetables and everything. There we go there. And we're going to let this continue to cook off that flour kind of taste there, for an additional minute here, stirring the entire time. Okay, this is going to give this such a velvety, smooth mouthfeel to our minestrone. Oh, yes, it is. I mean, essentially, we're just kind of replacing a roux there, by doing it this way. It's a really great technique, by the way. Now, let's switch over to a whisk, and we're going to add our broth, and we're going to just add half of it right now. That's about 3 cups or so. Here, we'll add there. There, that's good. There's a little more, but whatever. And now, just let this sit here until it starts to boil, and then we'll start whisking. Oh, yeah. All right, we're starting to simmer there, so now we're going to start to whisk. And we're going to keep whisking this until it gets a little bit thick there. The first batch here will get thicker than when we add the rest of our broth, of course. But you'll see in a minute here, it's like magic. There we go. See, kind of like thickened up there. Oh gosh, look at all that steam. You can't see. Okay, well, it's thickened up just a little bit there. Okay, so now we're going to add the rest of our broth. All right, and we're going to whisk that in. Okay, and then you can step away for a minute or two, and then once that comes back up to a simmer, we're We're gonna whisk again. Oh, in the meantime, let's check out our butternut squash. Oh, it looks good. All right, so we're just gonna set that aside until we're ready to use it. Dun-dun. See how we're doing here. All right, we are good to go. Okay, so now we can get rid of our whisk and we can go back to our regular spoon there, and we're going to add our diced tomatoes. Go. And our beans. And our butternut squash. Oh, yes. Oh, the start of the show. Our roasted butternut squash. Oh, and our Italian green beans. Them in there. Okay, so now we can give this a stir. Okay, and we're gonna let her come up to a boil, and then we're gonna reduce that heat down to a simmer and let her simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, well, our soup is simmering here. Let's take care of our tortellini. Okay, so we have our tortellini all done, and it has a little bit of olive oil on it, and I have a frying pan here, saute pan, whatever you have, going with 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it as well, and we are just going to add our tortellini. Oh, yes. Now, we're going to let these fry until they get just a little bit golden. Oh, yeah, and that'll be about, 1.5 to 2 minutes on each side, and that would be over medium-high heat. Okay, we are looking good here. Oh, look, starting to brown up. Nice. Okay, probably about, I'm going to say, another minute or so there. And our tortellini will be done. We're just going to set these aside until our soup is ready to go. Oh, and check that out, y'all. Oh, my goodness. So our butternut squash has gotten, like, nice and tender in here, and some of them are like breaking apart to thicken up the soup a bit. Oh, I told you, this is one of my favorite soups to make during autumn. Oh, it's so delicious. So now the only thing left to do is add our tortellini. But you have a choice here. Now you could add this all at once to the whole pot, or you could do individual servings. Now I would recommend the individual servings, especially if you wanted to freeze some of your soup, for sure. And yeah, why don't we do that? We'll do individual portions here. That means the only thing left to do is serve her up, y'all. Oh, get a nice pretty bowl. And let's see. Put some tortellini in there. Oh, let's be generous. What am I doing here? Oh my goodness. Here. Okay. And ladle her in. Oh, look at all that. Oh, yes, before I forget, make sure you take out those bay leaves, okay? You don't want to serve anybody bay leaves. That's definitely not good, That's not a good. Oh, look at the butternut squash, which I did not yet, so I'm keeping an eyeball out here. Oh, and finally, oh yeah, some fresh grated Parmesan right on top, just like that. Oh, check it out. Doesn't it look good? Oh, this is a nice, hearty, autumny soup. Oh, man, I really like this soup. I hope you give it a try. There you have it. Oh, yes, our roasted butternut squash minestrone. Oh, yeah. Oh, when I say this is one of my favorites, it absolutely is. You have to give this a try. This is so delicious. And this is like my recipe too. I'm getting a little more courageous with sharing like recipes that I made myself, So I don't know. I hope you give it a try, and I really hope you like it too. And how about that wreath? I really like how our wreath turned out. And the one thing I wanted to tell you was that if, totally optional if you wanted to, when you're all finished with it, you can give it a coat of acrylic spray here. I got the matted for this one here. It just kind of preserves it a little bit, especially if you want to use it year to year. These leaves here will last definitely year to year, this black oak leaf. But if you give it a spray on the front and the back, yeah, you can keep this from year to year. Oh, those little pumpkins on a stick too, aren't they cute? And you know what? So we did our leaves, right? We did our squash, but we didn't do our pumpkins. So I think we better do that right now. Ooh, 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 it is such a beautiful autumn day, probably one of the last nice days we're going to have. It got up to 70 today, and we still have a little bit of sunlight left, so I thought it would be really nice to do this project outside with you. Or projects, because we have some autumn pumpkin decor to make 4 different ways. 4! And they're all easy to make, and most of them are all using upcycled materials. All right. This should be quick, right? So let's get started. How about an old wood block? So please forgive my my work table here. Oh, I love this thing. And as you can see, it's well used. So we're gonna make a pumpkin out of a wood block. The first thing we're gonna do is find a scrap piece of wood, any type. 2x4s, you could do the 4x4s, the 3x3. Well, you get the picture. And any size you want as well. And then we're just gonna give that a coat of some bright orange paint. Oh yes. And as you can see, I'm kind of putting it on lightly. Like I'm only gonna do 1 coat because I want to see some of that wood grain showing through, kind of give it like a rustic look. Okie dokie. So next, we're going to attach a stem. And for that, I just have some branches, scrap pieces of branches. I like that one. Scrap pieces of branches there that I got from some fallen branches outside. And then we're just going to take some scissors and level it off at the bottom. And then using our hot glue gun right in the center of our wood block on the top, we're going to add some hot glue. Yes, and place our stem. And then next, yes, we're going to be adding some moss just around there. Yeah, okay, that looks good. Our hot glue, we're just going to go around our stem a little bit there. And add some moss. Okay, and then we'll just hold it in place there for a little bit. And then we will kind of bring it down. You can even tack it in place if you want, like with some glue. Maybe you can put it right down there. Like ta-da! Ooh, don't they look cool? Oh, I really like these. All right. Nice, easy, rustic, really cool looking. So, how about on to our next pumpkin using an old brick? And this is done exactly the same way as our wood block. They almost look identical, but the texture will look different. Paint this baby orange, attach a little branch, or you could even use a wine cork for a stem, and then put some moss on it. Ta-da! Looks cool, huh? And then you can see the difference there as far as the texture goes there. But they look real similar, huh? Ooh, I like these too. These are so cool. How about a toilet paper roll? Okay, so for this one, we're going to make a burlap pumpkin out of a toilet paper roll. So we're just going to have an old, maybe a scrap piece of burlap, or you can get these at the Dollar Tree. And we just want to make sure that it's fairly square. I think this is 14 by 14. And then it's as simple as this. All we're going to do is bring it up and tuck it in. But we're kind of going to fold it just a little bit like that. And, tuck it in, fold it, tuck it in, fold it. All right, we are tucked. And now we're going to add a little bit of hot glue down in the center here just to hold it in place a little bit there. And then getting some more scrap of burlap, maybe a piece, about this size or something similar. We're going to grab it in the center, pull it together, and kind of poof it a little bit. Add a little more hot glue down in there. And then I'm going to push this down in and make a stem. And then I have some jute twine here. Oh, yes. And we're going to tie it. Here, we'll do it this way because that's the front. Tie it like that. I'm going to do a double knot here. Okay, and now, check these vines out, y'all. So, with our jute that's hanging down here, what we're going to do there is we're going to coat them, yes, with some craft glue all the way up to where it joins up here. We're going to coat that all up with some craft glue, and then get a dowel rug or an old pen or something, and then we're just going to kind of loop this around it. Just like this. All right, and then we're going to do it to the other side. I'm just going to let it stay there and let it dry. Ta-da! And you look cute too, look. That's how they dried. I think it looks pretty cool. And then I just finished it off with putting a little bow made out of jute, and I just put a little dried flower in there too. But I think he looks cute too. All right, on to our last project. How about some old tin cans? Okay, just like our wood block and our brick, we are just going to paint our cans orange like this. And again, I'm going really, really light because on this one, I definitely want some of that metal to show through for sure. I want to really give this one a rustic look to it. Make sure we get the top too, okay? Okay, there we go. We are dry. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is attach our stem. And again, we're going to use just an old, branch for that or a wine cork. That would look cool. But this time, I took some jute, and then I just kind of hot glued it around like that. I let them hang down like that, and then I separated the jute. You can literally just pull them apart and pull them up like that, and then you'll get 4 smaller strands, and they're kind of curly too. So it'll be like vines, All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is glue her right to the top. Okay. And then, I don't know, I thought for something, I don't know why I picked these, but I had a bunch of these, and they have these at the dollar, and then I just snipped them into little pieces like this, and then we're just going to kind of decorate our tin can around our stem by just hot gluing them on every so often. Ta-da! Aren't they cute? Oh, yes. Ta-da! Ta-da! I need a whole bunch of these. I like this one. I think this is my favorite out of all of them. Love the tin can ones. Well, I mean, there you have it. We made 4 kind of rustic, pumpkins for autumn. Oh, yes, and we did them all quick and easy. You can make all 4 of these in one evening. You can make all 4 of these in 1 hour. I mean, really. The brick, the block, the burlap, and of course our tin cans. So I hope you enjoyed our little pumpkin decor DIYs. Oh boy. Gosh, that was like I'm pooped now. I really am. Gosh, I did most of this today. This is really Tuesday. The only thing I did yesterday was the soup. We made the soup yesterday and had it for dinner last night. It was pretty good. But do you like the pumpkins? I like them. I think they would look fabulous, like across a mantle. Or how about any one of them, like the tin can ones? I mean, put them together in like a cluster with maybe some taper candles in there for the Thanksgiving table centerpiece. Oh man, that's what I'm doing for sure. All right, definitely kept you long enough tonight. That's for sure. I don't even know how long this is going to be. I do know this will be out late though because I worked late again today. And it's already it's dark, and I think it's 9 maybe already. I don't know, but like I say, better late than you got it. I know some of you got it. Anyway, thank you so much for spending your time with me this evening as we celebrated all things autumn with leaves, pumpkins, and squash. Sure, there'll be more in the next couple weeks. Definitely hit that subscribe button, okay? And the notification bell, all of them, so you know when we have a new video coming out. Check us out over on Facebook, Instagram, and X. And all of our contact information is listed right down below. That's our P.O. box and our email address. If you have any questions on anything we did, just shoot me over an email, okay? Thank you again. Happy autumn again. I will see you next time, okay? Ciao, everybody.